Today was a mother. There was nothing to trade in the pre-market. Just nothing. I mean, there was some high dollar stocks, but I couldn't afford those. So anyways, today's trade. First trade I did was AMD. Let's see if I can find it here. AMD, I took a scalp. Low of day, whole dollar. I got 32.06. At the time, the SPY and Dow, all those were up for the day, so I kind of felt like it might go higher, but then it got to VWAP, kind of pulled back, and I got out. 1,000 shares, 32.06. Got out at 32.16. So 10 cents on AMD is really good, and it was, if you go back here, it got to this moving average and failed it a little bit. So I got out, let that stock alone just to see what it was going to do. I'm sure people shorted it right here, but for me, I didn't want to. The other thing that was kind of intimidating was, I did see a double bottom, but then, and I did think it was going to go higher, but then it showed the weakness, and, AMD can just really rock it backwards on you. So I got out of it. The last trade of the day I took was right here. AMD sold off pretty good. If you're looking at these other days that it sells off, that's a pretty sizable move for it. 32.44. It did pump up to 32.49 and almost $1. So I saw that it was getting close to this 200-day moving average on the daily chart, and it had showed it was at the $0.50 here. So I did take a long here, and if it were to break 49, I'd get out. I did get out twice, lost money, but then I saw it sell down to 31.40, and the 200 is 31.35, and when it showed some rebounding here and some bigger volume, I went ahead and got back in, and maybe a little bit, I meant to get in here at 31.45, and then if it lost, I was willing to risk the 5 cents to get up here to, I believe, 60. But what happened was I got a crappy fill and got 31.49. It's not showing here on DOS, but so I got out a little early at 56 just because I was a little emotional on it and I didn't want to risk it. And you can see I was worried that it was going to come back here and double bottom, and I didn't want to be involved in that. May go higher, may not. 31.61. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Geez. Yeah, I mean, so anyways, I just didn't want to be a part of that. It was last trade of the day, and the reason I was emotional was this Hertz trade. Hertz. Right here, Hertz. I was watching this thing. I saw it run up. I wanted it to run higher. Shoot, I wanted it to get back up here to the high of the day, but what attracted me to is that the daily charts got up here at 200, and it was showing it getting pulled back, and so at the 200, at the whole dollar, I saw it test it, and then come back down, and it was kind of testing it. So I got in 1,000 shares, and I got stopped out a couple times, but what happened to me was I went, I meant to get out. So I went short. It came up and meant to get out right here. When it broke, I added another 1,000 shares. So I was in at 2,000 shares. I got in panic mode, and I wound up selling all. So I'd take a deep breath. It did come back down, break that $17 mark after it bounced off the 8 moving average. And so I did get back in. And then I actually, when it came back up to the 8, I added more, took a deep breath, and then the emotions kicked in. I got out a little early. But my original target was, gotta find it here. My first target was this 75 level, so I got out of it there. I didn't expect it to go down all the way here, but my target was this like 1650-ish, like right here. This is my target. I couldn't stay in it because of the emotions. I was up $180 and I lost most of it on that hotkey error. But then of course got it all back. Why did I like Hertz? Because there was no news on it. I don't know if there was earnings or whatever, but it was fully extended. And Hertz isn't a stock that typically moves this much. So, you know. And then, you know, hey, we got topping tail, smaller candles. And then volume's drying up until here. We get a big spike. What I was looking for was a really big pump on low volume, but I didn't get it. So then I thought it was going to start trending down. So, and it is. DBX. Oh, DBX. DBX was another good trade for me. I would love for it to pump up on low volume to 24, but I don't think it's going to. What I did here is I saw this was like above VWAP Fallen Angel sort of strategy. What had happened was it came up, sold off, engulfing candle, but not quite down to the low of the previous candle. And then we had an engulfing crack, so to speak, but on lower volume. And then it pumped back up, starts making lower, higher lows, but not higher highs. So what I was waiting for was a breakout of this this consolidation. When I hit 71, I went long, which is not something I typically do, but I'll show you this was as flat as it's going to get. So, I mean, that was a beautiful level. Went long on volume and took it up to 81, which is about the high, and then you can see it sold off again, and then came back up to 81, triple. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. PDD. PDD was my last trade. Oh, shoot. Let's see if I can. PDD was my last trade. No, I think I already went. Oh, PDD. This is. I already talked about PDD. Yeah, I got a really bad fill on it. Or did I talk? Well, I'll just do it real quick. So it sold down to the yesterday's close, and then it bounced up, started showing some activity on level 2 and order flow, and then I waited for my 2 candle confirmation. That's what it was. Yeah. Oh no, that's good. I got a good fill on this. So I went ahead, went long, and then, you know, it sold up here to 51. I probably took my profit a little too soon, but right now, with the emotions from the Hertz trade, I didn't want to push it, and yeah, so, you know, it's at a pretty low level. I think it probably goes to 56, but which would be about right here. Yeah. Oh, another trade I took on it right here, at the close to the half dollar. What I saw was 1, 2, 3 bottoms. So it wasn't near this level, but it was at the half dollar, so I could use that as my risk to reward. And what happened was I saw it come down, show some strength, and then, but not a lot of volume, so I was waiting for another candle. The second candle confirmed it for me with a little bit of volume. It came up, it never did tested my entry, and then it went up. I got hardly anything out of it. It started showing weakness at this moving average and at this sort of quasi level right here at 60, 70, something like that. So I just got out, and of course then I executed this trade, which this trade will probably run pretty good. But again, with those emotions, I just I didn't want to be involved in it. Yeah, that's it. Hopefully tomorrow we have some more stocks to trade and see what happens.